The record oil prices means that it's even harder for automakers and auto workers, especially at a time when they're struggling to meet the demands of the 21st century economy. Since the beginning of this year, thousands of Chrysler workers have lost their jobs. The entire industry has shed 300,000 jobs in the past 8 years, about a third of which were lost in Michigan. That's hundreds of thousands of workers who will no longer be able to count on a paycheck to pay the rising costs of health care and college, gas, and groceries. And those who are lucky enough to avoid getting laid off are still feeling the pressure of restructuring. Not too far from here, at American Axle, UAW members have gone on strike to fight for good wages and good benefits and a decent standard of living. These are things that all hardworking families should expect and that UAW members deserve, and we stand in solidarity with the folks on the picket lines and the families that are impacted by this strike. Their struggle is part of a larger struggle that's being waged not just in Michigan, but all across this great country. It's a struggle to ensure that we have good manufacturing jobs so American workers can raise a family, have health care when they need it, put their children through college, and retire with dignity and security. They're common hopes, modest dreams, but they're slipping out of the reach of too many American families. Now, a big part of the reason auto workers are struggling on the factory floor is because of some decisions in the past that were made in the boardrooms. Rather than invest in fuel-efficient cars of the future, there were times where auto executives invested in the SUVs and larger trucks that may have helped meet rising demand, but guaranteed that they would be outpaced over the long term by competitors and that the industry's long-term problems would be harder to solve. But American automakers have been showing leadership in recent years. Ford has now tied Toyota in the quality of the cars they're making. They're spending more on R&D than nearly any other company in the world. Chrysler is working to develop a system that integrates electric motors with fixed gear transmissions. GM is releasing an average of one new hybrid model every 3 months for the next 2 years. So we are taking steps in the right direction. American automakers are on the move. But we have to do more. They can't do it on their own. They need a partner in the White House. And when I am president, you will have we won't just support the auto workers in Michigan who built the auto industry and keep it strong in good times and bad. We won't just revive and strengthen our automakers. We're going to revive and strengthen all of American manufacturing. These have been disastrous years for our manufacturers. We've lost nearly 4 million good-paying jobs, including hundreds of thousands here in Michigan, and more than 36,000 manufacturers have closed their doors. We cannot afford to continue down this path. Manufacturing supports 1 in 6 American jobs, jobs that pay more and offer better benefits than other jobs, and we have a stake in saving them. So it's time to recapture the spirit of innovation that has always fueled American economic success. It's time we had an economy that was driven not just by foreign debt, but by the power of America's imagination. It's time to tap the ingenuity of engineers and entrepreneurs, policy experts, and working people to meet the challenges of our time. And that's what this election is all about. So while this is a moment of challenge, it's also a moment of opportunity. And the question you'll face in November is, which candidate can lead America to seize those opportunities? When John Macomb came to Michigan in January and said that we couldn't bring back all the jobs that have been lost back to America, he was right. We can't bring back every single job.